Slime Rancher is a 2017 game by Monomi Park where you play as a young girl taking her first steps into the world of slime ranching. Slime ranching is the art of catching wild slimes with a tool resembling the suck cannon from Ratchet & Clank, trapping them in semi-permeable cages and then force-feeding them to sell their waste products for profit on an interplanetary network. I've tried my best here to twist the game's theme into something mean and cruel, but really this is the most delightful and innocent game I think I've ever played. The whole thing is bursting with colour and magical exploration where you can't wait to see what's around the next corner or behind the next locked door. You walk out of your ranch for the first time and the game is populated by these small pink balls bouncing around the map in front of you. But as you delve deeper into this cartoonish world, you'll discover slimes that are more imaginative, more creative, and sometimes just more ridiculous. We have rad slimes that poison you with radiation if you stand too close, or boomer slimes which have an interesting habit of spontaneously exploding. There's even the elusive golden slime, which is so elusive that despite encountering it during the time I spent playing Slime Rancher, I cannot find a clip of it anywhere, so instead I'll just use Microsoft Paint to demonstrate this magnificent slime. Perfect. Once you've had enough of aimlessly wandering and harassing wild slimes, you can finally concentrate on building your ranch. The game has fixed positions where you can build slime cages, chicken coops, storage silos, and even incinerators. And it's this part of the game where you can get truly lost in the experience. So much of your progress is so simple and yet feels so rewarding. Watching your ranch develop from a small collection of pink slimes to a veritable smorgasbord of colourful and rare blobs is incredibly satisfying. But of course, nothing is ever perfect. And it's at this point in the game where you have developed a functioning slime ranch that the biggest problems with the game become glaringly obvious. First up is the limitations of your suck cannon. It only has 4 slots to hold things. Now this sort of thing is a huge problem in a lot of games. Sometimes your limited inventory space is a mechanic that forces you into smart gameplay. Like in the Fallout series for example, where your inventory space makes you think like a wastelander, collecting only what you really need. And even more so, it's actually guided by how you progress your character. If you give yourself more strength, you can carry more items. Or we have other games like Don't Starve, where the limitation is enforced to prevent the player from over-collecting resources and ruining the balance of a finely tuned survival thriller. Sometimes though, it is just a pain. In games I've been playing recently, the one that stands out the most is No Man's Sky. A sandbox open universe where exploration and collection are the game's core mechanics. It sucks a lot to constantly hear that my inventory is full, and that to collect more I'm going to have to fly 4 minutes into space and 4 minutes back again to sell what I don't need. Slime Rancher's 4-slot suck cannon fits into the No Man's Sky category. Both are solo games based on exploration and collection. There are no enemies you need to be balanced against, and no thematic purpose to the limit. It only serves to increase the grindiness of the title. Now the second major problem is that the game has a very large amount of tedious micromanagement necessary to manage even a small ranch. There is some automation in gem collection and in feeding, but largely everything has to be done manually, and that's really, really tedious. Having played incredible games like Factorio where you build a completely autonomous system, I spent a lot of time wishing that there was some way for my cube strawberries to just automatically carry themselves 12 feet to the left so that my stupid cat slimes could eat them. But no, I've got to do all of this myself, and this ends up with a fair amount of your playtime just being repetitive admin. Now I want to add that literally as I was recording this video, I checked the Steam page and saw that the latest update to Slime Rancher has added drones, which can be tasked with collecting food in your ranch and dropping it into slime cages. Now this is an excellent addition, and definitely something that I wish was available to me while I was playing this game. But I also imagine that accessing the drone technology will take many hours of progress, and so for new players that still means many hours of manual food collection, gem collection and feeding. Plus there's no suggestion that the new drones will help to automate the selling of gems, and so that is still going to take up a lot of your time. What you'll notice eventually with Slime Rancher is that it has no end game. Once you've built up a functioning ranch with a multitude of slimes, you're given very little incentive to ever leave or change. You can collect everything you'll ever need by running back and forth between your slime cages and the gem market. Any money you earn is pumped back into the farm. Farming in Slime Rancher begets more farming, building an endless loop that slowly drains away your interest in the game with each passing cycle. The end game of Slime Rancher is when you realise there's nothing more to experience from the mid-game and you exit to your desktop. It's also very much a one playthrough game. Your technology upgrades linearly. Your ranch will have the same identical build spaces, and the game's secrets, Easter eggs and giant slimes are always going to be found in the same locations. It's not possible to start a second save in Slime Rancher without it feeling remarkably similar to your first. So unfortunately, Slime Rancher for me didn't have the longevity of many other more detailed farming and base building simulators. But it doesn't need to. Where Slime Rancher shines is the strength of its simple core gameplay mechanics and the beauty of its silly cartoon world. I may not be putting 50 plus hours into this game, but the 10 hours I did spend playing it for this review were all a relaxing and enjoyable experience. Now this is a title which is receiving regular updates from its developers, and I can see that happening for some time. It's also likely that I will return in the future to check out the new additions and maybe even update this review. Slime Rancher is a delightful and charming first-person adventure with a side of farming simulator thrown in for good measure. The imagination in the game is truly commendable, and exploring the fantastical mini-world is a joy for both new and seasoned gamers. If you're looking for a relaxing experience, I don't think you can go wrong with this absolute gem of a game.